Do you think there are any more notable NFL contract extensions that could be finalized before the season starts? Could it be Dak, Tua, Jordan Love? Could it be someone on defense, Matthew Judon, Micah Parsons, Budda Baker? Could it be a tight end like Mark Andrews, a wide receiver, Darius Slayton, CeeDee Lamb? Let's go through a few players who are this upcoming season getting to the end of their current contracts. Let's start with Tua, who himself said he's feeling a bit antsy about a contract extension. Right now, he's set to play on his fifth-year option this upcoming season for $23.2 million. He's been more vocal about his frustration and also says he's not blind to what other quarterbacks are getting. Last season, he led the league in passing yards, 4,624 passing yards, and had a career 29 passing touchdowns. Tua says that he feels confident that a deal will get done, so we'll see how soon that happens, if it happens before this season starts. Let's switch it up and go with the wide receiver, Darius Slayton. He's headed into the last year of a 2-year contract. He was a leader for the Giants last season, number 1 on their roster in receiving yards, 770 receiving yards, number 1 in YAC, number 1 in targets, tied with Saquon for number 1 in receiving touchdowns, and played all 17 games. Slayton says his agent and Giants general manager Joe Schoen are in negotiations. The Giants, of course, drafted wide receiver Malik Nabers. So, with a rookie now in that room and veteran tight end Darren Waller now retired, they'll want to retain some of that veteran presence, plus keep their reliable stat leader in that room as well. Joe Schoen says the Giants paid Slayton a roster bonus, but they are taking into consideration base salary and production from last year. Slayton himself said he would like to remain a Giant, so we'll see if they make that happen via a contract extension before this season starts. Brandon Aiyuk. Now, the 49ers are looking into extending Brock Purdy, who is currently slated to play on his third-year option of a 4-year contract, meaning he wouldn't be a free agent until 2026. But San Francisco could lock him down before then. But we're going to talk about Aiyuk because there's been so much buzz around if he stays or if he goes. And he's been very vocal on social media about wanting a new contract. There are rumors about the 49ers trading him to the Commanders, but the ask was too high, so the deal fell through. There's rumors about him joining Tomlin and crew. He skipped mandatory minicamp, and he's been hanging out with Jaden Daniels and posting Commanders film online. San Francisco could hold out and see if Aiyuk ends up playing there anyway, or they could shop him around. Until something officially happens, Brandon Aiyuk will continue to be the topic of trade rumors around the league. So be careful what you read and be careful what you believe. Let's head over to the defense and see what the Cardinals could do with Budda Baker. He's headed into the last year of a 4-year contract. The 28-year-old veteran was second on the team in solo tackles, 1 tackle behind Jalen Thompson, tied for second with Dante Stills in assist tackles, and second on the team in total tackles behind Kaiser White. The Cardinals drafted Budda Baker in 2017, second round, 36 overall, and he's been with them ever since. Arizona has some room to play with in cap space, so they have the funds to extend the 2-time All-Pro before the season begins. The Cowboys have a few players to worry about. CeeDee Lamb is headed into his 5th-year option. Dak is headed into the last year of his contract, and Micah Parsons is headed into the last year on his contract, but he has a 5th-year option, so he wouldn't potentially be looking at free agency until 2026 under his current contract. So who does Dallas prioritize? Who gets the extension first? Of the 3, are you going Dak, Micah, or CD? Dak played well last season. 4,516 passing yards, 36 passing touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Single-digit interceptions on over 4,500 passing yards is impressive. The offense wasn't necessarily running on all cylinders, especially early in the season, but they did pick it up. And overall, Dak had a good year. And it's hard to think about available quarterbacks who would realistically get on Dallas's roster who are better than Dak. And the Cowboys aren't bad enough in the regular season to get high enough in the draft to get a rookie quarterback. And I don't know if that's what they want anyway. Micah is one of the best at his position, changes the entire landscape of that defense. He has a bit more cushion as far as a contract is concerned, but you don't let a player like that walk, especially when you have pundits talking about a Super Bowl window. I'm not talking about a Super Bowl window. I hope they go 0-17. As a Commanders fan, I hope they go 0-17. But other people are saying their Super Bowl window could be closing. It was never open. And locking Micah Parsons down to ensure that you have one of the best edge rushers on your roster for years to come could be something the Cowboys are looking into. We'll see. We'll see. Now, Mark Andrews. This one isn't super realistic to me for a few reasons. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL. Was really crushed to see him injured last season. I hope he comes back and balls out. I like Isaiah Likely a lot, but I just think Mark Andrews is him. I don't think the Ravens have a lot of money to play with. However, this could be a deal that they're willing to spend on. With his current contract, Mark Andrews won't be a free agent until 2026, so there's a bit of time. But again, we'll see if the money is there this season or next season to lock him up. So between money, Isaiah Likely coming in and doing a good job, and his injury, we'll see if the Ravens decide to lock him up this season or just see what happens next year. Matthew Judon only played 4 games last season due to a biceps injury during the Cowboys game. And yet, despite only having played 4 games, he was just 1 sack away from having the second most sacks on that team. He had 4 sacks over those 4 games, which was on pace for his 2022 campaign, where he was nominated for Defensive Player of the Year. In 2022, he had 13 sacks over the first 10 games of the season, and he finished with 15.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, and 3 defended passes. He's led the team in every major pass rushing category since he got to New England. New head coach Jarrett Mayo says there's no question they want to keep a guy like him. And Matthew himself says he wants to end his career in Boston. There have been several trade rumors, and many believe when he gets to the end of his contract, he'll follow the money away from Boston in 2025. But either way, this is a contract year for the 4-time Pro Bowler, as it stands right now. So I expect that he'll come out with a vengeance in 2024 since his season was cut short, whether he gets extended or not. Under his current contract, Jordan Love will be a free agent in 2025. The Packers got to the divisional round of the playoffs last season with Love at the helm, so they may lock him up for the next few years. In addition to Jordan Love being a 2025 free agent, A.J. Dillon and Josh Myers are also approaching free agency. The quarterback market is very, very high, and a young quarterback like Jordan Love, who led his young team to the playoffs in his first full year as QB1 after having sat behind Aaron Rodgers, could land a very large contract. Green Bay could be the one to do it, to sign him to a large contract before the season starts, or they may want to see what else he has before they dig that deep into their pockets. So we'll see if they extend him before the season starts or if they see what else Jordan Love has to offer before they give him all that money. So tell me who you think gets an extension. Who does Dallas prioritize? July 15th is the deadline for any NFL team to sign a franchise tag player to a multi-year extension or contract. So tell me if you think T. Higgins goes into the season on a 1-year deal or a new multi-year deal. Take care of yourselves and check on your loved ones. I'm Arabia. This is All 32.